got his work cut out. This man's going to be having to make plays and a half across the map whilst he's got a Morph and a Weaver farming away. Very interesting dynamic and approach that Into the Breach have taken in this game. And we'll find out if it works as we get ourselves into this game 1 of Into the Breach versus Water Rune Enjoyers.
Oh, I got to reconnect. Give me a moment. I cannot see. My screen is black on mine. At least I have the PGM. At least I can see everything that's going on a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I can see the potential for, oh god, I'm going to say 11MONKEYZ. For Water Rune Enjoyers to get like a good push going and get like a nice advantage with this Luna and stuff like that. But I can also just see them getting outscaled versus this Morph and this Weaver and just lacking catch to ever really get onto them.
Nice. Yeah, very excited to watch this mid matchup. And yeah, just see if Supreme trips up and makes a mistake. If he dies to the Storm in the 1v1, it's gonna be rough.
30 seconds to battle.
All right, I can't click on hero, so I'm going to be going full PGM for this game, unfortunately. Looks like my lobby got bugged out, at least for me somehow, but it doesn't look like we have too many, anything that's like out of the ordinary in particular for any starting items. Headdress, per usual, on our Chen, some stat items, boots on Ari to start up so he can make these moves around. And we do see deep vision, at least from both sides, so both may be looking to at least read the lane positionings if anybody's going to do any dodging or anything like that. But I think we'll have standard lanes.
Let's have a look. Let's
see. Seeing Ziz, he's ZYZZ, or ZYZZ for you.
Z's. I think it was Z's.
He starts a sentry and immediately buys a second one. Love to see that. I think it's really important, not of course to just block camps, but you're playing versus Weaver. You want a casual sentry in lane. I think I say it every time that we do see Weaver, but we do see Kadaro. He's prepared as well. He knows how to counteract it. Let's get this underway.
Let's have a look. See how well Otaker can farm here against the Viper Marcy.
Yep, and let's see how well Top is able to farm as well too, because that's also can be a bit of a scary lane even for Luna. Death Prophet is insanely powerful, and a tiny combo and tossback on top can do a lot. But same time too, Chen is usually able to guarantee lanes pretty consistently.
And yeah, in the mid, what do you expect sort of at the CS result between these two? Like, is the Morph truly just able to freely farm, or should Storm be able to bully him away from some waves?
I think he should be able to freely farm. Stokov has impressed a lot, especially like on his Lina and his, honestly, Storm Spirit a couple times. But I think Supreme is comfortable with this matchup. That's why he went for it. And at the very least, it's like, sure, in the past, this last patch, of course, when we had small camps, then you'd be like, yeah, Storm will out-farm because he's got small camp. But no small camp available. So let's see if Supreme can withstand the pressure of these early levels, because that's the biggest concern, as we said. Up to level 3 is when he struggles the most.
Yeah, creep away from being able to send his bottle out.
Yeah. He's struggling, though. 9 and 4 on the Storm at the moment. Slightly. Ziz does make a bit of an aggressive dive down bottom on the Marcy. We'll be okay. He's tanky, but he's been using the rebound actually to secure the range creeps because they're having a little bit of issue getting onto that one versus the Weaver and Wyvern.
So far on the top lane, CS, Palantimos, 7 for 3. It's going to slow down a little bit. As we can see, Jibbe not getting a huge amount out of this lane.
No, definitely not. Mary's doing an excellent job.
Oh, and it's actually going to be down bottom there. The Otaker will get the first blood moments before dying himself. But that'll be a worth from him, getting that first blood.
Super worth it. It's versus the Viper lane, anytime you get the kills on him, and he's winning in the CS by a decent advantage too. I love when we do that, we love, oh yeah, look at top, and then boom, bottom. First blood happens. Poor observers. Pretty big deal for a Taker. He's getting free farm. Luna is getting contested. Even though Death Prophet, we see Jippe, he's not getting that guaranteed farm. He's got pretty much the same as the Viper, and he is slowing down Palantimos slightly more, at least for now. Constantly looking at mid. This is as the Morphling, you have to be able to endure the fact that the wave is going to get pushed on you a lot of times because you don't have an element to be able to push out when you go for the adaptive strike. But then Storm always is just going to force it under the tower.
I mean, what sort of item route do you see Supreme going here from this sort of mid position?
I think standard. I don't think he's
Just
going to deviate on it.
There's not going to be anything crazy. You're
No,
still just playing Morph at the end of the day.
I would think so. I mean, I'm not 100% sure because I haven't gotten to see these mid-morphs as much, but I'd imagine he'd just go standard.
Bottom lane, Taker continuing to deal fantastically with the pressure. And
Yeah, this was smart. This was a smart switch up that they did.
Absolutely, because when you draft Viper Marcy, you don't expect the enemy carry to have perfect CS at 4 minutes in. That's not what you would have hoped for. We'll see in the mid. Stoikov very, very low. Supreme not going to quite be able to continue to chase him down. Those is hit. Splinter Blast. We blocked by the infused raindrop.
Stoikov will be able to get the rune, though. Pretty damn important, at least. Is it still? I mean, he gets the deny in the face of Supreme. Nicely done.
There's our bottle charges here, Supreme.
Yeah, really good rotation by the Marcy.
Yeah, Ziz is still here, punching in.
Yeah, he's still sitting here. I mean, Kadaro can't walk back the lane because of this.
He's going to make sure he takes a fair bit of damage. At least has to get up in the air with the Arctic Burn.
Has to be careful how close he walks near that Marcy, too. Whenever sidekick's available. 31-5, though. Weaver. Significant advantage over the Luna. Pantimos is getting slowed down a lot.
And Jibei's starting to catch back up. We're seeing sort of pretty much even last hits on the top now between the two cores. Jibei closing the gap.
They can't actually apply pressure onto Jibei at all. Right? Most heroes, I mean, most lanes can't anymore because of how crazy Spirit Siphon is, of course. But Ted and Luna, until there's like creeps, it's just not. That's not going to do much of anything. And we actually see 2 points in Crypt Swarm. First time I've seen that now with the new Death Prophet. Even he was always taking the Spirit Siphon. But
I mean, was that just down to the fact that he was having a tough time CSing? So just
I guess
a bit more of a chance to secure last hits from range?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Second point is still super valuable on both spells, so. Yeah, not slowing the Weaver down. Morphling is getting impacted a little bit because of that bottle refill that he didn't get. But a slow start, and usually, especially with like Viper lineups, Viper lanes, you want to get it, you want to be able to kind of crush the lane a bit. That's not happening. Not by any means. The other 2 lanes, though, are going pretty good, at least for Water Rune enjoyers. Seeing the rotations, at least from the supports. See Ari, check Stop Rune.
So try to make a move on Jibei. Some nice micro here, blocking him up. And he's able to clean out the creeps there with the Crypt Swarm, and that'll allow him to get back to safety. Even thinking about turning back in, Jibei gets another Crypt Swarm off. Both him and Ari very, very low, but they will survive.
Geez, really pushing the limits there. Both have to go back to base now at this point. So Pantimos will be able to secure that farm, catch right back up to the Weaver. Yeah, great. I mean, very calm early game. Nothing crazy kind of going on here. Water Rune enjoyers, though. They are coming out a little bit ahead, which I think their lineup would like to do, at least out of these lanes.
That is true as well, as I believe Scriff pointing out, Lunar Blessing now, nighttime. Yep. Everybody's getting a tasty amount of bonus damage.
If only it affected creeps as well. That would be amazing. Chen army at nighttime. Can you imagine? Okay, an early rotation, Arcane Rune.
Yeah, wants to make something happen with this. Jibei staying close to the tower.
Bottom.
You see top as well. Also. They're making the move. Stoikov going to lead in on to Jibei. They've got the catch with the root. And they should have the damage here with the 3 of them. They'll take Jibei down.
Nice rotation. That's always the advantage also of this Storm versus Morphling matchup. Morphling not going to look to make the moves. He is just going to play the standard Morphling. Storm can easily look to punish these side lanes. And with Chen, they can look to start pressuring towers and this aura. Top, somebody might have to come to address it. Even maybe more than one hero.
I mean, it's just... It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out for Into the Breach, because it just doesn't seem like the approach that most teams would take when they see this sort of heavy push lineup come at them. This whole idea of, hey, you know what, we'll put a Morphling in the mid. Because
they have no active playmaker now to slow this
you've got
kind of
these
stuff
2
down.
cores. Like, who's going to turn up to these pushes?
It's got to pretty much just be multiple heroes that do it. Yeah, they're just going to give the top tower. I mean, it's not the most important tower by any means. It's actually the least important, of course.
Yeah.
But either way, a big injection of gold, at least for the Luna. Now you can open up the map for where Luna can go, and same thing for Chen to make rotations and pressure those other lanes. No rune for Stoikov this time, though. Doesn't get that regen rune, of course. We did see Morphling take it, so he's just going to jungle in the meantime. But they're going to probably look to make another move soon. At least rotate down bottom with the Chen, I'd imagine, in a few moments. Right now, it looks like Mary is doing as much stacking as possible. Attempting to... Oh, he's triple stacking. Look at this.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice.
Nice, smashed it.
So prioritizing just going for the farm mid, though. Try to poke Stoikov.
Very hard kill to get.
Yep. Just looking for mostly damage on the tower mid. Got quite a lot of it here.
See mid.
Gonna try.
With the setup. Won't have enough damage though. Supreme more than fine here as he waveforms away. He's got a regen rune as well.
The dream for Supreme. We're going to still kind of wrap around and play aggressive. Stoikov, he's playing super aggro as the Storm Spirit this game.
See Ari step up into this, but let's go back up. Stoikov, he wants to continue to go. Zips in aggressively over towards Ari. Really wants to kill up this Tiny. My goodness, Stoikov. He's crazy.
Jeez, oh, these players are really pushing the limits for these. I mean, this one wasn't even close to beginning the kill, to be honest with you. This one, he needs to commit a lot more to have any attempt.
No, I mean, they're ready to go, and I think, you know, this
Look at bottom.
Let's see what they can do with Vibe Strike. We drop down onto a Taker. Well, Taker's got the bugs out onto BNC, won't chase. There's the backups coming in here. Z's here at the side. Catch him with the dust. The time-lapse has already been used, but won't quite be able to chase him into the trees.
Nice attempt, though. Now Ari is in the area, perhaps for Ziz. Whoop.
Quick combo. Anyway, for Ziz to jump away. There's not. He'll get taken down. BNC trying to find the trade on Ari. Won't be. Ooh, not quite enough damage. And Cold Embrace there as well. It's in
Nice mid.
Still an early time to lose that tower, though.
It is very early, which that's going to be a concern because they got that top tower, but mid is always going to be more important, at least to see rotations and everything, at least for the side of Into the Breach. And now also, like Weaver, he's still top net worth. He can just move out of this bottom lane, get to jungle, look to pressure a little bit, give the Wyvern lane, maximize. And then now Wyvern, he's going to be probably the most important element, I feel like, for Water Enjoyers to kill now in these next minutes or so, because he's going to be the one that just holds this bottom tower and this mid tower as long as possible. I want to see rotations coming out from Water Enjoyers. And looks like they are going to start moving.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, of course, Stoikov, he wants to fight, given any sort of reason. You know, he wants to go.
Playing against this Morph Weaver. It's super greedy, so they got to punish it.
Absolutely. If you speed this game up, Into the Breach could crumble.
Really trying to dive versus this Wyvern.
And we're going to catch him with the dust. Take up.
He's out
as well. He's still surrounded by the four of them, but pretty much the entire team's coming in to back him up. So this has now become a bit of an awkward spot for Water Rune Enjoyers to find themselves, as they'll lose Mary. They'll lose BNC as well. Maybe even more.
Lose perhaps another.
I mean, Stoikov's going to try and jump onto Jibe, but the ghosts are out. This is not a fight for the Storm to take.
Oh, it's a diving past the tower, because this is the one thing that I feel like we see this one every game that there's a Wyvern, right? It's like you see the Wyvern nuke the wave and everybody's just like, we need to dive this Wyvern, but they split up. They kind of go for both targets and get fully countered on, and now it's actually Into the Breach going to be the one to push another tower, perhaps.
Stoikov, he's very low on mana. He's still trying to push out this wave in the mid. They've got the two of them here. TP's coming over.
Should be all right.
And Kadaro found himself pretty deep in enemy territory. Has got the curse if he can get it off, but not quite able to do so.
Nice injection for Palantimos, who's already been kind of just chilling on his own the entire time. So that's very nice, level 9 already. He's also got the more stacks coming along as we see Ancients. There he is, boosting him up. But still, I think the name of the game should still be speed. I know that they scale. They have like this tri-core with the Luna, the Viper, and the Storm. But it does still feel like a little bit of a fear, at least, if the game does continue to just stall out.
Sure.
You can just let this Weaver and Morphling just sit back and farm. So I think still, name of the game plan is still just go bottom. Even though you died, you lost a couple of heroes, just don't overcommit. Take the tower.
I mean, it definitely feels like at the moment, if they do group up, they're going to be very strong at taking these objectives, and it's not going to be easy for Into the Breach to turn up and defend when the full 5-man's there, and they're sort of pushing around Palantimos' Luna.
Yeah, and if they don't have like the Death Prophet Exorcism, if they don't have Curse or anything, they'll completely neglect going for those fights. But if they do have Curse, I mean, you have to be very careful whenever this Chen does turn up. So we'll get this tower. It's only less than 1k lead for this Luna, which Palantimos definitely wants to increase a little more. He's still in a good spot, but definitely wants to keep boosting up that gold. He wants to be higher than that versus the Weaver. Farms a lot faster. Rune.
Stoikov trying to zip in and start off the action, but the curse is down, catching the 3 of them. Stoikov getting low. Ari able to jump into position. They'll take out the storm. Toss onto ZYZZ. He's up to the high ground. Palantimos also having to escape the siphon of Jibei. They're getting split up here, Water Rune Enjoyers. He's into the breach. They'll continue to chase them down one by one. Mary being bullied by Oteka off to the side. They'll zip forward here with a waveform. Cut through the Viper. Zip ZYZZ out of the game as well. 4 dead on Water Rune Enjoyers.
Kind of the worst place for them to get caught, it feels like. In the river, this lineup in general is all about like fighting around those towers and just getting the push going. But getting caught in river by a beautiful curse and a follow-up with Ari there, it's going to make things more difficult than it felt like they were already starting to become. Even though it's less than 1k, but it does feel like this pressure needs to come from them, and they get caught trying to go for a play on a rune.
Absolutely, the 5-man from Water Rune Enjoyers can be strong at this point, but very much punished by these ultimates of Into the Breach. And just at this part, they were just split up completely. There was just no fight to be had any further for Water Rune Enjoyers.
The thing is that their lineup overall, it's got good group up and push, but it doesn't actually have good team fight in a way. It's kind of weird. So it makes it a lot harder when you do fight into these big ultimates. The Exorcism had just come up, so they kind of just had the perfect setup there for the side of Into the Breach. It's typically going to start the Rosh, though. This they can sneak pretty easy, especially that both those ults are down.
Will Into the Breach scout this?
I don't think they're going to expect this one. This is pretty sneaky. I like it a lot. This is really nice. As soon as the nighttime hit, too, so they're... I mean, now Luna's there, but they were starting it, and Luna wasn't there, and they had the aura benefit, of course. All right, super early, 15 minutes. A good move. Trying to take advantage of those ultis being on cooldown. Back to the name of the game. Get that push going. They have the lanes, side lanes are in a good position. Mid is still really hard to actually sandwich on without, like, smoking and wrapping, though, so... Looks like they're just going to back up and use it as some farm for the time being.
We'll see, for Into the Breach. I don't think they'll mind too much if, again, things calm down with the enemy having the Aegis. As long as the Supreme Morph and the Oteka Weaver are able to continue to farm.
Yeah, I feel like they'll always take the slowdown for sure in this game. They have really good ways to keep the waves pushed out, too. You see there, like, the wave push, the wave clear, as, Blitz, the old school. Looking at the way that they can push out lanes, it's super easy. Death Prophet nukes it, Wyvern nukes another one, and they can constantly look to make plays with the Tiny. Smoke up. Kadaro. Very sneaky, though.
So they have the damage. Going to continue to try and push on here for Supreme. Jump in.
Nice
Mantis pop. Caught by the Dispose. And he will get caught. They'll take him out. Not able to play his way out of that one. The persistence from Water Rune Enjoyers secures them the kill on the Morph.
Nobody on the side into the breach even reacting kind of at all, except for the Wyvern who TP's bottom, but it comes out quite late. Really good dive. Now they can actually push.
Absolutely,
so
yeah. Here off the map. Time to push. Take these towers.
This Luna will be very strong whenever it is a full group up around her, though. With the sidekick, with all the buffs, as we like to, the Chen army always giving thousands of auras. This Luna is going to be incredibly strong in those team fights if she is able to stay ahead. But still, only 500 out of the Weaver is not a... Luna wants to farm a lot faster. This Weaver is having a phenomenal game from the lane.
Going for the BKB next, south of the Maelstrom. Same to be said for Palantimos. He'll should have his sooner, though. So we'll still have that solid timing to make moves as a unit. Water Rune Enjoyers.
He needs to just finish BKB before he turns up at all, because he doesn't have Aegis. They know that. The Storm has it, so... Valentimos does have to be in a pretty careful position for at least a minute till he has it. Does find a Pupil's Gift also. So yeah, this is going to be a really tough to bring down Luna when he is grouped up with his whole team. Super tanky.
Still got 2 minutes to play with the Aegis. So definitely time to try and look for a fight, or at least threaten a tier 2 tower.
Lanes just keep getting forced in, so they don't actually have good opportunities to really look to use this Aegis, to be honest. Under the Breach is doing a really good job of pushing, just shoving the lanes, not giving opportunities for them to find any type of catch or anything like that. Looks like it's mostly going to be just a farming Aegis.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, Water and Enjoyers. I mean, is there any way that they could maybe feel that they themselves actually have the edge in terms of the Luna being able to carry as sort of the later stages kick in?
They got to get more control of the map if that's the case, though, because he's going to get out-farmed versus the 2 cores. Even the Death Prophet is going to start transitioning pretty hard. Jibe is getting a ton of farm on the map. So they need to just continue to play fast and somehow get these towers. Like, this is a big kill. Now maybe they can actually sandwich and potentially look to go for bottom tower.
I've got Supreme.
Hasted Morphling is causing some issues.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Ari, very close to the blink.
That's probably what Into the Breach is waiting for before they look to take any of these fights, because their initiation is a Wyvern Curse at the moment. But even though they get this kill on the Wyvern, it's just going to be another one with those kills of just like to back up and farm rather than to go for any extra pressure onto the tower. Still being careful.
No, they're not looking to rush it.
Nope.
We'll see what Palantimos queues up as his next item. See if that's going to be something they feel is, that's something that he's able to get online soon enough, so they can look to make those moves. We'll see with the build of Supreme, Manta into the BKB, making sure that he lives regardless of what they throw at him.
Yeah, does he just tank up? Does he go? I mean, it's a really good Scotty game, so I'd imagine that's probably the choice for the Luna. Versus, it's the same thing as like the AA, the AA ban. You're versus Morphling, Death Prophet, Wyvern, so I'd imagine he does go Scotty next. Tank up. It's just been reclaimed, and the blink is done, so kind of perfect timing for Into the Breach to find something.
Yeah, Ari's ready to go. Immediately able to catch out the Chad, Mary goes down.
Now it's their go time. All ults available, Blink Dagger, and you constantly have this good lane positioning on your team because you're constantly shoving lanes. You have good wards as well because of Ari placing that deep vision earlier. Not rushing it though by any means. I'm pretty sure that they're probably saying like the Morph will be okay to outcarry this game if he does get the space to farm.
I think so. I mean, I'm a little concerned with sort of how relaxed Water and Enjoy seem to be.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I agree.
I feel like as time passes, it's only going to get harder for this lineup.
Radiant's top
BKB's done on Death Prophet. BKB's finished on the Weaver. Morphling getting closer. So not only are they going to have the teamfight disadvantage because they don't really have that much teamfights. Like it's their ult from Luna is kind of their best one. On the other side, In the Breach has tons of ults that they can utilize, and they have BKBs on most of the cores. Big on top though
for the next fight.
Okay.
Tiari is going to be able to get the jump in again onto Mary. Supreme with the follow-up. See, at the same time, Stoikov's ready to fight. We're going aggressively with the Arcane Rune, but Kadara able to protect himself from Cold Embrace. We'll see Supreme go down. Now the silence onto the Storm. Taker trying to find it, but Stokov is able to zip out in time. He'll get away. A trade that Water, Rune, and Joyce will be very happy with. Into the Breach, of course, they won't. They want to keep this going, try and find more. Ari's able to jump into the side, gets the toss avalanche onto the two of them.
Curse.
BNC taken out. There's the follow-up from Kadara as he locks the two of them down. They surround Palantimos. Palantimos will fall.
That was beautiful by
and
Ari.
They might not be done yet. Ari, he's going to look to go again. He's in with an avalanche out of toss. I mean, we saw it against Secret. Ari on the tiny.
That was unbelievable though. Like the way that they're already pinging. Like as soon as their morph died, they were just like, we're gonna stop this fight if they overchase. They start overchasing. His team jumps to the Viper in the front, and he's like, I got a two-man stun Ava, and he does it perfectly. The toss onto one, Ava follow, Kadaro follow up. I'm still astonished at how Supreme died. I mean, he just got burst, and I think the tornado creep from Mary pulled him into the Eclipse.
Did he
Didn't
die
even
so
expect
quick?
it.
I didn't even see him die.
Look, watch. He gets tornadoed. He gets wild winged into Eclipse. And I think he just didn't expect to get pulled back into it. But still very confident into the breach.
Are scanning.
Even though they lose that Morphling, they have this Weaver, this Death Prophet that are transitioning, as we were saying. And they have Ari the monster on Tiny.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing we're sort of talking about, the Weaver and the Morphle scale. Ari's like, what about me? I'm going to carry this one.
He queues up Echo Saber after that fight.
Did he actually? Did he?
He absolutely
he's ready
did.
to carry this. You know, he's had enough of sort of the passive approach that his team wants to go with the draft. You know, this man wants to kill.
And now game looks a lot more difficult because pace of the game is just going to naturally match into the breach and their ultimate cooldowns in particular, how they want to pick and choose these battles. So 30 seconds till EXO. They can chill, wait for that fight. Weaver's also finishing up the BKB.
I mean,
yeah, I'm getting more and more worried for Water Rune enjoyers.
But Palantir, he's close to Skadi. You've only got to imagine that when the Skadi's done, that's go time. You know, they're grouping up, they're going, because I don't know what else they're waiting for. Because if they keep on waiting, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, the thing is, though, now I mean, it's tough to, of course, say. Like, in hindsight, of course, there could have been like other things they do, but it's tough now going into and finding the Wyvern, because that's what they need to do. But Wyvern has Blink Dagger now as well, too. So they have to try to get these big team fight advantages by taking out these supports early in the fight. But into Breach, as we said, ult's back up. They're smoked. They're ready to go. Morphling has BKB, so shouldn't die in the next scenario either.
Got to keep our eyes on Ari in these fights.
I'll take her also, of course, going for that Scotty, playing versus triple ranged cores. It's going to be very beneficial once he picks it up as well. Kind of interesting how we do see that. Two lineups with 3 ranged cores. Not the most standard kind of thing that you do see.
Absolutely. I mean, only 2 melee heroes in the entire lineups.
Yeah.
In the entire game.
Ari.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, but catch on to poor old Z's there with the avalanche, and no hesitation from Supreme to jump in and help finish the kill up.
They're starting to run away with it, and Roche is up. There's, I believe, a Chen creep inside of there, so they'll spot it, but there's an Exorcism available, and then they're also just like, come to us, right?
I mean,
Breach is like, please fight us.
You come anywhere near this cliff, and Ari's going to be jumping you.
Yeah.
And they know it. I mean, they'll smoke up to try and get an angle to approach.
Into the Breach is ready for it, though.
Ari is in with the jump to start things off. Mary will be able to get the mech off, but he still gets popped here by Supreme. Taker forcing back BNC. Not really an area that the Water Rune enjoyers can step into at all.
Oh, Mary's having a rough one. They constantly killing him before he gets like anything off. He got mech this time, but the last time he didn't get a single spell off. Now Roche. It's dropping Chen up in 10.
I mean, who's making the jump? How are you
This
starting
looks
this? Whoa, it's a 4-man rebound stun there as they initiate. Over to the side, Winter's Curse will be used, but they're able to split from this. Ari goes down, the Eclipse and the BKB is there from Palantir as he pushes in towards the pit, and BNC was able to steal the Aegis. As they'll get it on the Viper, Water Rune enjoyers able to take this fight around the Roshan pit. Palantir gets the triple.
I mean, Ziz making up for the entire game, a 4-man rebound?
Yeah.
That looked pretty difficult to approach, and they just literally burst the Weaver instantly. He time-lapses back in and dies anyway, and they steal the Aegis. All right. Anything can happen.
That was, yeah, you don't get to see a 4-man rebound stun every day. That was fantastic stuff there from Ziz.
How much gold injection did this Luna just get as well, too, right? That is insane after this last fight. Look at this again. Wow.
I mean, just massive. Just to be able to take out the Weaver at the start of that fight, force that buyback, and then, Palantir was able to get the BKB Eclipse off at the side, also being perfectly split, so the curse just didn't really catch many, if anything, other than the initial target at all. They approached that. A very difficult fight in an incredibly impressive way there.
I can't believe it, right? With 4 heroes, too. They did not have the Chen alive until the last minutes of it, or last seconds of it. Phenomenal. I mean, totally shocked by the way that it went down, but the angle of approach is perfect.
Dire are scanning.
I can't believe Blink just walks in and takes the Aegis as well, too.
So back in action. It's the breach.
Still keep the fight.
Get the moves going.
Yep, they're still very strong. They still are. They still should have mostly the team fight advantage, but Blink just stands his ground.
Get the kill. I mean, Jibe not able to trade with that. Off to the side, Stoikov does get caught in the combo of Ari. I see BNC continue to push forward. The curse will come out in time, allows the Taker to get the time lapse off. That's the Aegis taken out of the hands of BNC.
Oh, Taker's getting tripped up a little because that Mindbreaker, it looked like.
If we can go for BNC a second time, Ari. Two-man avalanche, but the BKB is off in time from BNC. Still, though, the heals are there. Cold Embrace keeps Ari alive. Supreme trying to shift up,
Ooh.
but Palantimos just stands his ground and shreds through the two of them.
Perfect situation for Glaives there, and he has all those auras that we were mentioning from Chen. Well, at least a couple of them. He didn't have any creeps there, but... Wow, standing their ground. This Morphling unable to actually fight versus this Scotty, the pickup.
I mean, absolutely. It seems like, you know, at the end of the day, maybe they had it right here with saying,
Maybe
no,
they did.
Palantimos, he's going to be able to outcarry the both of them.
Especially if they can steal an Aegis. Level 21 now. Close to a Daedalus. He's got the Wraith Pact on Chen, so Chen can actually negate a lot of that damage.
Yeah, just excellent aggression from BNC. Just, you know, these heroes kept trying to trade with him, and he was just stacking up the poison attacks, doing so much damage.
I mean, in the fight afterwards, like when they chased forward, they were just getting bounced. The Glaives were just bouncing between the two of them perfectly.
Let's see if Palantimos can keep this up. Top of the net worth, about 5k ahead of that of a Taker at this stage, and well on the way to having a full Daedalus.
Yeah, they got to start. They got to start feeling really good. I think Into the Breach is probably just like, oh my god, what just happened to us? Like,
Yeah, like this
we
Luna's
smoked, we
destroying
reset.
them.
Game was looking pretty solid for us. We probably would have had a rush and everything, but the whole game is flipped. Now they're probably feeling a little bit scared about taking it to these later stages for themselves because Luna is just massive after all that. Storm also BKB, so survivable. Also almost level 18, DD rune. After they've controlled the map a little bit, they're getting these power runes for the Storm too.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward spot now for Into the Breach. Do they still trust in their ability to farm and outscale? Or may they be a bit too concerned now with how much of a lead that Palantimos is getting against their cause?
He has full Daedalus now.
Yeah, he's
Titan
massive.
Sliver Daedalus. He's got all the buffs, the sidekicks, etc. With the Breach now, maybe also have to be a little more careful themselves. Ari, he's got this Echo Satyr Ags. He wants to try to scale, but someone's got to take the step back to have some type of more supportish items. Very selfish on Into the Breach. Not saying that it's a bad thing, but just not having these like Glimmer Capes or anything or Force Staffs to reset versus these fights now that Water Rangers have astonished in the last two engagements.
Dire are scanning.
See what they can get here.
They're hunting.
Does seem like Into the Breach are aware that this could be
But look at the line.
coming for them.
They know.
They're gonna spot a Taker in the trees. He has to BKB time lapse.
Really good sweep though by them. Like they already draw exactly the line. They know perfectly that they're going to be sitting inside the tree line there. Not going to check for the other two, but they will be able to push out these lanes. And oh, look at the rune bottom.
Stoikov will be happy with that, especially with how aggressive he likes to play in these fights.
Oh, Taker nearly has his Scotty finished up. So still, after these last few fights, is quite significantly far behind the Luna, but this will at least allow him to stick on the Luna a little easier and perhaps fight back. And what, is that the... Okay, Aghanims is finished now. Also for the Morphling.
We will see top Ari. Does get
Combine
spotted in the trees as they lay down the high ground ward.
He stayed there for over 2 minutes. All right, let's see what the Ags Morphling is also going to be able to do. That's the stolen attack speed, maybe. I'm not sure.
I mean, yeah, he's going to be going for the Luna with this then?
I guess so. I mean, it would just make him a better Morphling, right?
Yeah. No.
If it's nighttime, his whole team gets plus damage too if he turns into Luna. Hey.
That's very true. Very true. Something that Taker and Ari in particular will be very happy to receive.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But they're the ones getting aggressed on pretty heavily now because of these moments. Look at the lane positioning. They've got bottom pushed out, but other two side lanes, even though they have great heroes to keep these waves pushed out, they can't actually do it because of Water Enjoyers getting this map control. The breach though, they're trying. They've got, I think they've got like everything that they wanted, at least in items. For now. We got all big pickups.
See if they can get the catch.
They see Mary. It's pretty far.
Looking pretty dead.
Ari.
It's already kind of baiting Palantimos into a bit of action, but Palantimos does have backup. Stoikov is going to go straight for the backlines, get on top of the Wyvern, take out the two supports. Ari and Kadara go down. With this, Water Rune enjoys, they're ready to push for more. They turn towards Jibe. Lucifer Beam comes crashing down. Stoikov cleans up the triple. Palantimos focused by Supreme and Taker will finally come to an end, but Stoikov has the backup of BNC. The two of them looking to tackle the Morphling as they drag in Supreme. Supreme pops the Manta. Waveform TP in an attempt to escape, and he'll make it away.
Oh my god, it's looking like total disaster for Into the Breach until they get that cleanup kill, at least on the Luna. The Curse actually kind of griefed them, I feel like, a little bit because they tried to commit onto this Luna and then it just gets turned on and they lose both supports instantly. But somehow they're able to stand the ground with the two of them and make up for it. But again and again, Water Rune Enjoyers, they're able to take these fights. Standing the ground with the Luna, Palantimos just a boss.
Now we'll see again. Stoikov, insane amount of
Great
damage
play.
done in this fight. Just cleaning up the back lines and sort of getting both cores down to a point where they just couldn't really solidly turn back up into this. I mean, Supreme, as you say, just getting away with minimal HP in a very, very dangerous spot towards the end of that team fight.
Stoikov is scaling super hard now too, though, with his Luna. So they are getting this like really good dual core
back
scaling
in.
at the very least.
Most of the two supports again in trouble as they've lost Kadaro. I'm trying to get Z's place. He's chilling on the cliff, and Stoikov's in with the backup. They'll zip over, get the grab onto a Take if they've got enough damage to burst through him. Not quite. Take able to get the time lapse off. Nari jumps over towards BNC. BNC out of mana and soon to be out of HP as well. He'll get left behind by the rest of Water Rune Enjoys.
Already getting another snag. Playing a little too over-aggressive, Water Rune Enjoyers. Stoikov trying to push the limits. Not quite enough damage. But you can see that Into the Breach was a little hesitant how far they fully committed there, that they finally find the opportunity to get these big kills. Weaver catching back up. But Stoikov, as I mentioned, he's getting big scale also. So it's not just the Luna at this point that is going to be that big scaling core, at least on the side of Water Rune Enjoyer. So maybe that's probably what they were also thinking, that he's going to have a pretty decent game. As he's got Lincoln's now essentially done, and the catch is pretty lackluster at that point when he has it.
Roshan back up.
It's going to be the big decider.
Both teams, they can take it down very quickly.
Supports need to be, all the supports have to be careful because there's such reach on both sides to be able to get on them. Mary in particular, I'd say his position needs to be a little bit better, just so he can get down these Wraith Packs, make sure he gets these heals off because it's going to be a pretty big deal for this Luna. Well, for Stoikov, he has to just find the supports. If he can find the Wyvern, the Tiny, could just allow Palantimos to rip them all apart because of how massive he is on this Luna. Near 25, Roche is up.
He's going to make the first move around the pit.
Look at all the Chen creeps.
Water Rune Enjoyers sticking to their high ground around the cliff.
Play around that vision. I like how Stoikov is just standing in the front with Gem. I think that's pretty good positioning from him because he's got Lincolns. He knows he's safe.
Oh, yeah, he's ready to zip in.
Yep.
He's, as soon as he sees, I get a main target probably being the Wyvern.
Yep.
If he can get Kadaro before the curse comes out in a team fight, it's going to put his team in a pretty good spot.
His damage is pretty high too. He has the quiver, so
yeah. No,
should be able to burst the Wyvern very easily.
A long wrap around from
Ace
into
rune
the
for
breach.
Palantimos. It's a good rune.
Wari's in with the jump. Starts things off onto Z's. They'll burst him low. They'll take him out. Stoikov's going to look towards the backlines. He's trying to find Kadaro. Kadaro, though, is going to hide up on the cliff. Keeping himself alive with the cold embrace. Now Stoikov, he's pretty low on the mana, and BKB soon to come to an end. The curse will come out, trapping Z's and Palantimos as a buyback from the Marcy into a dieback. He's out of the game for 70 alongside that and Mary. Both supports down. And now with the jump for Ferrari, the toss back onto the Storm. He catches Stoikov. They'll take him out 3 down on Water Rune Enjoyers.
Clips.
So if they can get anything in the turnaround here, Palantimos is trying. But the rest of his team pretty much dead. Not having the control to set up for the damage he wants to do, and now he's in a scary spot. We'll be able to put the BKB turn and get one. In fact,
the
something
Suns
for the Centaur, nearly causing the death of a Taker may still
It
do
is.
so. It does. The micro there from beyond the grave. Mary setting up for Palantimos to get a double. They're actually going to get Kadara as well out of this one.
But Supreme's coming back in to clean up.
Oh, and it is going to be a cleanup. BNC on his own. Jibei and Supreme, they'll slowly run him down. A long, drawn-out, chaotic fight, but at the end of it all, into the breach, end up being Supreme.
They do, and they do it really nicely with their constant resetting. And really, I have to give tons of credit to the supports in particular. Kadaro, you'll see the way he danced. You know, you were mentioning dancing on the cliff. He wasn't allowing the storm to get on him. And Ari, I think, what, 4 or 5 different blink resets that he gets these Ava toss combos to have things work out well for them. Otaker makes a big mistake, though, in this fight. I think he just did not pay attention to these Chen creeps and kind of gets himself killed. But all in all, his team makes up for it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very easy. You know, when the Chen's dead, you're like, you know, he's probably checked out of the game, gone to get a drink. He's not looking at his creeps. That's not the case here. These are professionals, and you got to be watching out because he's ready to press that stun button on his Centaur, whether he's dead or alive.
Both of them, right? I think both of the Centaur stomps even clipped him. So we get back into it. They're still feeling strong into the breach. I think they got a gem during that also, too. They took away the gem from Mary. Yep. They have a full Butterfly and Supreme and an Aghanims on the Tiny. So pretty big injection of gold. And they get the Roche.
Popping the BKB there, Supreme, just in case.
Not letting it get stolen again.
Yep.
This is much closer than I'd expected, though, especially with the 2 lineups. Like,
absolutely.
Of course, sure, the Aegis Steel does make a big difference for Water Enjoyers to get that big momentum kind of going for their way, but very impressed with the way that they've been taking the fights. We also seen the reason why Into the Breach was a bit chill, seeing the Morphling power coming into play, how easy he can actually stand his ground. And honestly, the Aghanims is pretty crazy how much you steal. His attack speed slow. Even the Expel Amp stolen. I saw him stealing from the Storm, and that actually, like, in one of the fights, maybe can make a difference of how much burst damage the Storm can have.
Now, Water Rune Enjoyers will still smoke up themselves. Try and find a chance to catch Into the Breach at a point where they may be unsuspecting due to the fact that Into the Breach themselves have the Aegis amongst them.
It's a big pickup. They got the Timeless Relic for the Death Prophet. These debuff durations, the silences, the fears that come out from Siphon. Of course, also your damage being amped up. It's going to be an extra element. Ooh.
Stoikov is going to try and start things, but the immediate BKB's there from Jibei. Jump the silence onto Stoikov. Pop the Lincolns. See the opening stun actually catching Supreme. We'll get caught by this rebound as well for the CZ. They continue to try and lock down this Morphling. And Morphling able to jump back over the side, turns towards Stoikov, but Stoikov commits him with the BKB. Palantimos has been completely abandoned here as they've run away to the side. Now they'll push back in around him.
Stoikov!
As they'll be able to take down the Wyvern. Stoikov does fall. Oteka pots the BKB and cleans up the 2 of them. Z's and Stoikov go down.
Stoikov is doing God's work with the Arcane Rune, too. Doing so much to both supports. Actually getting everybody relatively low, but BKB ends immediately dies from 1 stun.
And at this point, Water Rune Enjoyers, I've got the 3 of them hiding behind the Tier 2 tower.
They're being smart, though. Avoiding that exorcism.
Through that fight, I didn't need to lose the Aegis or the Cheese or the Refresher Shard into the breach. They've still got them all.
Yeah, they didn't pop anything. They only lost their 5 position as well, too, for a pretty damn good trade. Started out very awkward, too. Ari, like, blinks in. Oh, my God. Ari? Ari? Okay, there we go. He walked by 3 bounty runes. Those have been there for a while.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Well, they could let's go again. I mean, Ari.
Waiting to
But
see
the-
which talent he chooses as well, too, by the way. Okay, he goes with greed. Toss requires no target. It's a very conceptually kind of can be broken because you can cliff people in fights and kind of just break them. But I mean, he's all about the damage.
He's going this damage.
He's
build.
all about
ready
half
to,
carry.
He's ready to throw trees at people.
It is absurd how much damage you do have now at this point, though. When you do have Ags plus this 20 talent and everything, too. He's also going to have to be a force to be reckoned with.
And Waterstream enjoys setting up from the trees around the tier 2. They
Okay.
want to try and take a fight outside of their base, but would still be into this Aegis.
No Exo for 30 unless he pops the refresher.
Man, they're starting to back up now. It's difficult to take this team fight.
Morph's 25 now, too.
I mean, Ari could look to jump. So it's going to start things off by just laying out some damage from a distance onto BNC.
Trying to force the BKBs with any poke. Can't quite there. Is that double Lincolns, I believe, there? Yeah, so double Lincolns. Actually, triple Lincolns, sorry. Triple Lincolns on the side of Water Rune Enjoyers. They do not want to get cursed. Or morphed into, I guess, in particular also, so, okay.
Blocking either of these ults could definitely mess with the flow of the team fight that Into the Breach wants to get going.
They do have a bit of ways to pop it as well, too, but they can't triple Lincoln somebody and keep it very protected, of course. CYZZ, not quite scaling yet. We didn't really get to touch on his build too much, but he's gone for the lens and then going to be going for BKB, not the phase BKB build that we've been seeing most teams doing, so a bit different. Also takes the sidekick lifesteal. That's the first time I've seen someone take that talent over the rebound.
Yeah, I guess because we're just sort of more focused on making Palantimos' game easier.
Yeah, I mean, the rebound talent's pretty insane because you have an 8-second cooldown on an AoE stun, but it's really all about Luna at this point, so I guess that's what his idea really was. Aegis for 5 more seconds.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Supreme, a
top
full
tower
satanic though, with that 25. He's incredibly difficult to bring down.
Shibek still holding on to the cheese and the refresher shard.
Dire's
That
top
second
tower
exorcism
is under
means
attack.
very much one for the fight and one for the push.
Difficult to prioritize for Water Rune Enjoyers at this point because they have to jump the Wyvern, but if you don't kill one of these 3 cores, they're gonna they do so much damage on the 3 of them.
I mean, we're again just sort of feeling that the difficult spot that they're in, that we kind of expected them to be in, maybe a bit sooner than, 46 minutes into the game, as they have done excellent in some of the mid-game
jump.
fights. They're going to look to start things. To Jibe, but Jibe able to put the BKB, the cheese, the ult, it's out, and Palantimos with his BKB, he's having a run. He's having to get out of here. Supreme's looking to chase him, closing the gap with the waveform. That's Palantimos going down. See Stoikov zipping back to the temporary safety of his base. Ari nearly catching him with the avalanche. Catches
Buyback.
Ziz instead as they take out Marcy. And Palantimos in with the second life. Just wants to pay here to try and turn things around.
They gotta get more though. Luna bought back.
And Supreme's going to put the man to Stoikov's very, very low on mana.
Oh,
He's
no.
just going to straight up die. Pushes himself beyond the limits. And gets punished.
Oh, I mean, he wants to chase more because they used they expended the big buyback, but overcommits, can't get anything.
Now sitting at 11k gold deficit. Every single team fight just getting more and more difficult.
Palantimos can't hold his ground. It's like, even though he has the sidekick lifesteal and all that, and the cores just commit on him. The Weaver, the Morphling, they just get right on top of him.
Dire's structures are falling.
See what they can do. 40 seconds as Stoikov's out. He has got the buyback.
Dire's top
See
tower
if he wants to use it here. Doesn't look like he'll be quite pressured out. Into the
All the lanes
breach.
starting to push in, though, all 3. Bottom still has the catapults, even, actually, yeah. They could even make.
How
their way
many
down here
range
and push.
creeps is this?
That's
Look at this.
yeah, I mean, it's insane.
What
I was looking. I'm like, mid lane's got a pretty okay, but what the hell's going on bottom? Look
My
at this
goodness.
wave. And a DD does spawn. It's spotted. So they'll have a DD Morphling as well for the fight. The Luna couldn't stand toe-to-toe already anyway, as he just continues to get like morphed, but ooh.
Some big money
Nice.
there for Stoikov. He'll clean up that push.
Can't stop it, though. Even though he gets the creeps, the catapults don't die. Tier 2 likely to drop. And now Taker, a bit safer for him too. I believe he's got the gold for that Satanic as well. So easier access for him to not get burst down and just always stick on top of either Lunar or Storm. Smoked up. Jebe, like a centimeter from 25. Literally one creep.
There we go.
Nice. I like that talent. I like the Spirit Siphon one still more than the Exorcism one. Surprising he didn't take the slow though, but I guess he did want it. He wanted to be tanky, but that's fine. Roche back up.
I mean, Insta Breach could probably force it and get away with it.
And they'll get massive advantage from it too, because then they'll have 2 Refresher Shards. So even one of the supports can maybe have it, maybe even the Wyvern.
I'm Supreme's tempted to just start,
He can just
start
solo
doing
it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to worry. He doesn't even need to have his team kind of in the area, or not inside the pit.
I mean, what are you going to do here if you're Water Rune enjoys? Do you try and throw bodies into the pit?
I think it's pretty scary walking into this area.
Yeah, I think you got to prepare for the high ground. This is not the place to be.
Who are you giving the Aghanims to? Are they actually going to give it to Otakar? I would prefer it on Kadaro as well.
I mean, I guess for saving like Jibei or saving Supreme, it's big.
90% of the time when I see core players get this Aghanims, they die because they forget
They
about
don't double tap it.
Yeah, but
I mean,
either way.
these are professionals, bro. Come on.
Yeah, well, the other thing is, too, it does increase his net worth, so it does make your buyback more expensive, too. That's why sometimes, like, having it on the supports isn't so bad, but whatever.
True. And it also does increase the potential for your teammates to mold at you when you don't time-lapse them.
Exactly.
Because they know you have the potential to. So it's just a disastrous item. We'll see how Otaker can cope with it.
We'll see how he does with it.
Let's have a look here. The push coming in. Water in enjoys. How are they going to be able to stop this? Supreme getting a little bit low. Which does have that Aegis. They'll be able to take it out of him pretty quickly. A curse gets dropped, but it's only onto the Viper. Zip across from Stoke, obviously looks towards Kadara. Does get caught by the silence, is able to remove it. And then we'll actually continue zipping aggressively. Pots the BKB, gets back in on top of Kadara. They're able to take down the Wyvern. And now turn towards the Taker, but Taker pots the BKB. He's able to get the kill. They get the toss on the Palantimos. Palantimos has the BKB. Hurricane Pike's back up to the high ground, trying to get away here from Into the Breach. And will be able to safely do so. Able to separate himself after being tossed right into the midst of them.
That's so scary, though. Now, no BKB for 80 on the Luna. He can't show his face. If he gets tossed back again, he's just dead.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And these cores gave nothing to the supports.
Oh, all right. Yeah, the catch on BNC, but Stoikov's there with the response. Zips straight away on top of Ari. Supreme pots the BKB and wants to get the melee racks finished.
There it is.
But he's been
the
disarmed.
time lapse.
See what they can do here. He's out with the waveform. Lost the barracks, and Water Rune enjoys not able to punish Into the Breach there for taking those from them. See,
Ooh,
now, we had a
GC
big
wave.
range creep party going on earlier. We got a big one coming out from the Dire side there. About
And you
10
saw
range creeps going to work.
Taker, he's a good core player. You saw that? He's a nice one. He saved his teammate.
He
He
did.
did time lapse the Tiny, so nicely done.
Yeah, even saving a support.
Yeah. But they didn't give the supports anything. They took the refresher shard even on the Morphling. They just really don't want to give Guitar
I mean, that's
Ari
true.
anything.
That's true. If you're taking the Axon Weaver over your supports, then you better be saving them.
Supreme, a full Daedalus as well finished up. He's fully critical mass now at this point. How is this Luna going to tank up versus any of this? How are they going to else kill these targets? They keep only being able to kill the
hard.
supports.
Dire are scanning.
So, yeah, without doubt, though, definitely impressive. You know how well Water Rune enjoys have been able to hold on in this game, but it does feel that the inevitable's coming around the corner.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
just the setup, the lineup that Into the Breach have, and the fact that we're 52 minutes in.
Yeah, and this Morph Weaver are insane, and even the Death Prophet is kind of this third core. Level 25. Exorcism is no joke at this point.
Let's see what they can do.
I said third core, I mean like third carry, of course. But Rax is going down.
Not anything they can really do to stop this.
The Ghosts just clean it up. There's another set of Exorcism if they'd like to move the Refresher Shard in as well. If they even want to use it. They have a DD also on the Morphling. And they have another Refresher Shard also on the Morph, so.
Here we go. He's going to try and start things. Gets in on top of Rotaker. Z's jumps in onto Supreme, but Supreme is going to be saved. He's able to get the BKB off and zip to the side there, thanks to the time. That's finding that second chance to live. Still, the Palantimos pushing on. Cuts through Kadaro, now will force into the breach to retreat. Stoikov, he's trying to chase, pretty much uses his entire mana pool to get in on top of the Weaver. Will die for it, but was able to get the setup, but Water enjoys to kill off a Taker. They'll now turn towards Supreme. Supreme using the BKB in the waveform to get away. Jibe now surrounded. Z's jumps back in, but the BKB's up from Jibe. Water enjoys kiting them out for now. Jump from Ari over towards Z's, but now Ari's in trouble. He's getting focused down by the Luna and the Viper. It's a third hero dead on into the breach. As Waterrune enjoys their holding.
The Viper and the Luna able to hold their ground next to the Chen. I think I saw Tomato revenge on the Luna for a second there too. He had like plus 300 damage from this Hellbear Smasher that died. They're able to hold on again. Great save from Otaker to I think protect the Morphling, but ends up paying with his life because the big jump of Stoikov.
I mean, yeah, Stoikov, throughout this whole game, he just has no fear. He goes for it. And it's these sort of situations where he knows he can sort of throw away his life with that big sort of setup, but it will be worth it overall. They're just getting that little bit of a catch and chase onto Otaker there, using his complete mana pool, gives them the chance to kill the Weaver and keep the game alive here, Waterrune enjoys, despite being over 20,000 gold behind.
Yeah, they're able. It's really just because they keep the distance, right? Like Stoikov is like a tank in a way, and then he keeps like these two ranged, massive DPSers actually in the backline, able to focus fire targets. So now going the other way a little bit here. A Hex also on BNC.
I mean, they're pushing down the mid.
They have
they're pushing down the mid. They're onto the tier 3. See how much they can get from this. Ari's dead for 40 seconds. Otaker will be back up in less than 5.
Tower's gone though. And yeah, Halberd. Hex, they have a lot of different tools to still control this Weaver. Still always probably going to be the buybacks, of course, for Into the Breach. But Water enjoys live to see another day.
They really do. This is, this is turning out to be a very, very exciting game.
Very close. They have a lot of gold saves.
It's a refresher now.
All
right.
Palantimos. What do we have on our Storm? We could get a refresher on Storm too. He has Aghanims. So we could see them do the like black hole plays.
It's not. I think that's exactly what he's going to want, right? Yeah.
I think so. I think they definitely have potential to turn these fights now.
And we're close to the 60 minutes. Any crazy 60 minutes here?
Everything. Every item is so bonkers. I mean Mirror Shield is probably going to be one of the big ones still because they have all these like Lincolns, so you'd be able to like double up the protection. But attack speed could also just be crazy. The Pirate Hat, just to negate that gold advantage too.
All smoke on smoke. Palantimos on the front, though, in the river.
What do they still have on the side of Into the Breach? They have a cheese, and I think that's it, right?
Oh, then it's just it. They've been through all the refresher shards.
Been through everything, okay.
The other cheeses.
The base is being pushed in, though. So right now they know probably that Waterrune Enjoyers is outside the base.
Yeah, I've got that illusion rune that Palantimos was able to pick up, so that will help deal with a couple of the waves coming in.
Yeah,
Mary! Oop! He's going to get caught, but Stoikov, he's going to go straight away for the jump onto Supreme. Try and get in on top of the Morphling. BNC steps forward as well. The Viper Strike. Palantimos comes in with the BKB in the hole and bringing Supreme down very, very low. Supreme has the waveform off to the side. Keep his distance for now from the Lina. Palantimos turns over towards Kadaro, now turns over towards Zari. Stoikov again with these aggressive setups. Getting in, setting up for Palantimos to clean up the kills, and they're ready to try for more. Hex there onto Jibe. He'll get time-lapsed by Otaker, but it only just drags him closer towards the enemy team as he still goes down. 3 dead on into the breach, and it's possibly more. Otaker and Supreme trying to deal with the fact that Waterrune Enjoyers are running them down, but they cannot turn and fight. They have to run, as Waterrune Enjoyers, again, taking these team fights.
The Luna's damage is through the roof in these fights with the Eclipse, too. Like, do you see how much damage he has? He has like plus 200 something from these Lucent Beams. So his right clicks are actually just ripping them to shreds on the side. Gibbet thinks he's tanky, but he's not. 31 armor Death Prophet dies in no time. And Stoikov constantly getting these amazing grabs.
He really is. He really is. He's, you know, every sort of team needs a Stoikov. You know, the lad that's just going to go in, get these setups, just no cares, no fear. He's starting the fights. He's making sure that the space is created. I mean, when you have this storm sort of zipping around all over you, the comms of Into the Breach has got to be kind of crazy. You know, how do you deal with this? You're sort of just getting forced to react immediately, and suddenly this team fight that you have and this potential you should have with the cores, the carries that are scaling, and the 20k lead that they had minutes ago, it just seemingly means nothing when Water and Enjoyers come running at you as they have been.
If they have all their auras, if the Chen is able to survive and keep everybody buffed up, the Viper and the Luna, then these two are going to just destroy the side of the beach. They have to kill Mary. Honestly, the Wraith Pack, the Boots of the Bearing, all these heals and Solar Crest, it's tanking them up enough. And yes, Stoikov causing chaos. They might just get this Rosh here.
Yeah, BNC's going for it. He's going for it. I mean, they'll want to get involved on this Into the Breach. I mean, Stoikov, he's going to be ready to go. See BNC put the BKB in an attempt to finish with the Roshan. No, take entrance. The BNC will still be able to get the Aegis. Aegis on the Viper. See Stoikov getting caught by the Avalanche toss, but it's not enough to deal with him as Stoikov turns, takes out Kadaro. Kadaro buys back immediately. They've got to try and help out Supreme. Supreme pops the BKB, turns towards Stoikov, but Supreme, he's getting shredded once again by the Palantimos. Luna has to get away from this lineup of Water and Enjoys that's running them down and take a pops the time lapse, but they've got the vision on him. Stoikov zips in, drags him back with a Vortex. That's the Weaver gone. As Water and Enjoys, they'll be able to grab the Aegis. I believe they grabbed the cheese as well.
And the Aghanims.
Who got the Aegis?
I think they got it too, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Palantimos was able to grab that. So that whole the 23k lead, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's
completely.
gone. We're straight back to even. And if Water and Enjoys were able to do this as they have been, whilst they were 23k down, you know, good luck against them now in a level playing field.
And Stoikov probably is going to be able to commit the gold for the refresher if he's like to. So this is unbelievably impressive. And 60 minutes. So let's see what they get. This game continues to deliver, even though it's been totally crazy from both sides. All right, who gets what, though? Let's see.
I mean, they got the Book of the Dead. Always love that one. A little bit of side lane pressure, especially when this is all sort of 5-on-5s. It could be difficult for Into the Breach to really send anyone out to deal with that silent pressure if the summons start coming down those lanes.
I mean, there's going to be a ton of summons in the fights with Chen. Chen's got his army now fully finished up. These things hurt, too. On supports, these things really do hurt. He's going to be able to Boots of the Bearing and just run them probably at the Wyvern, who's already been getting taken care of from Storm.
Yeah, and of course, Marcy with the Seer Stone. That on top of the Ether Lens. You've got to watch out for the Disposers.
Oh my god. And the range, I mean, the range that he can catch from is absurd.
We've got Fallen Sky coming out for Into the Breach.
Shiva's instead, so Stoikov feeling they don't even need it. Just feeling like he needs to tank up, which, I mean, might be the case. They didn't need it before, so.
Ooh. And I guess, are we going to get the Stygian Desolator going the way of Palantimos?
Ooh. I mean, I guess. I mean, I guess so.
And then obviously for Into the Breach.
Who do you give the Arcanist armor to?
I mean, someone probably wants to hold it, don't they?
Chen's holding the book. I don't think anyone has a slot, actually. Storm can, but I mean, he's...
I mean, it's pretty nice, right? 20% magic resistance passively for the whole team.
Oh, Stoikov wants 4 mana regen instead, so whatever.
All right.
Aegis, cheese. They're looking to push themselves. Ari, toss back.
Gonna get him in pretty deep.
Big pull.
Able to force down to the side. He's going to be fine, this Viper. Supreme will jump the backlines this time, able to take out Mary. They've taken out the Chen. See if that's going to be the key for them to take the rest of the team fight. Mary buys back. He's ready to rejoin the team as he T-pose over towards the outpost. And that is Kadaro dead without buyback for 95 seconds.
Refresher was used from the Luna.
They could keep this push going again here, Water and Enjoys. Still have the cheese on Stoikov. And BNC here with the siege. That shard.
Kills it very fast. Constant poke, though. Oh, that range, of course, from the Death Prophet with Seer Stone and Aether Lens. Siphon has a casual... I mean, you can just mouse over and have fun with seeing the range of Spirit Siphon.
So then Mary, I'm going to finish off the melee racks.
There you go. That profit with Sear Stone. There you go. Very nice. The jump.
What?
JP.
Aziz is in. He's going to look for the jump. Stoikov's going to zip straight over towards Otake. He gets the setup in with the vortex. Otake getting burst slow, still able to get the time lapse off in time. Jibe puts the BKB. Stoikov using the last bit of mana to get out to the side. Still got half of his mana pool left, so could look to get back in. BNC just standing his ground there with the BKB, pretty much finishing the life of the Death Prophet. They're able to do so. Stoikov zips back in to finish off the kill. He'll buy back straight away. He wants to keep this fight going. So TP over. BNC actually cancels his TP there. Opts to deal with the pressure of the creep waves coming in. It's quite an expensive fight that time around for Waterrune and Joyce. They end up expending 3 buybacks.
Big ones, too. BNC's, I think, is really important, same for Stoikov. They have to be super careful now. Especially, I mean, Stoikov in particular, because he's been pretty reckless with a couple of his jump-ins. Now with that buyback, has to be very careful, especially of this Wyvern. Was able to find him this time, but...
Of course, we do the big old item here, the Rapier done on Morphling Supreme.
What level is he to? He's about to hit 30, so quite a bit tankier as well, getting like 700 HP. Luna, I think, also hit 30, so we've got the mini stuns, so potentially could just lock people down infinitely with double eclipses.
Yep.
And he's got Moonshard Eden, so he's full. All right, what neutral items did we see on the side of Into the Breach now? I see Stygian, I see the Hammer,
Oh,
I see the book.
Stygian going the way of Supreme.
Oh, boy.
That's, yeah, this waveform attacks target. That's going to shred through heroes.
And Otaker also has a lot more, even more ways to just get in and out of fights now, too. The Fallen Sky and 2 Shikuchi charges.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Was he clicking Sear Stone at the same time? Or something was clicked.
Something
Something was pressed.
Pressed all the buttons.
Okay, BNC's the one who's holding the Arcanist instead. They swap things up a little bit.
Now, Waterrune and Joyce have given some very impressive fights. This next one have to be even more impressive into a pretty much fully stacked morph with a Rapier.
I think Mary has to stay very far back because his buffs and his auras are actually very important for the Luna. And Palantimos and BNC somehow just have to be able to keep that distance that they were having in the successful fights. So for Stoikov, he still probably has to be a bit reckless with the way he jumps so he can give the space for those two to get the right clicks, but feels like it's still anybody's game with these crazy team fights we've had.
Absolutely.
But now, okay, so like you said, buybacks, many were used. Morphling and Weaver still have it, so does Luna. Morphling also has 8,000, I mean, current gold afterwards too, because I'm sure that's also going to be pretty crazy on most of these. So across the board, we have even backup rapiers that could be purchased and whatnot with those buybacks soon. And continue to just, really important to be looking at the Luna, of having all the buffs of how these team fights will probably go, because there is a crazy amount of buffs.
And is there nothing Palantimos can do in terms of change up of items? He's got nearly 12k gold. I mean, can you get a Rapier in, or is that just not going to feel good dropping one of these other items for it?
Might have to do some backpacking plays with Refresher to get something at some point soon.
Yeah.
Because I'm also looking, and I'm like, they don't really have True Strike either. A Butterfly could still be pretty beneficial versus this Morph and this Weaver. But at the same time, also, they have like 8k gold, so they could just pivot. So I'm just unsure of what he could get, unless he just wants a full commit Rapier. And be careful how many books you feed. You do give quite a bit of gold still. Bottom lane is starting to become an issue.
Dire are scanning.
And at the same time, they'll have to deal with the fact that Roshan will be up soon.
That 5th Rosh.
Waterrune and Joyce stepping out.
Ari.
Ari is in with the jump. He's on top of Palantimos, but Palantimos ready to respond. They turn straight away towards Ari, just shreds through here with the Eclipse. The Eclipse destroys it. Ari buys back immediately. We see Otake and Jibe continue to push forward. They'll get Mary off the side, and with the Winter's Curse, they'll actually trap the two of them. Mary and Stoikov get caught out. Jibe, has he got damage on his own to finish off these kills? He's kind of struggling to kill Mary off. Mary's going to be able to walk away. See, back over towards the mid. BKB popped by Stoikov. He'll opt to zip, TP out, and he'll make it back in time.
So only Ari dies in the end of all of it. I think the curse actually potentially saved the Chen there, but was trying to get a multiple hero setup there at the very least. But we did see, yeah, the Refresher was popped, the double Eclipse was popped. It's pretty massive.
I mean, we'll see them
take
try for the outpost. Of course, Roshan now back up. With that fight into the breach, easily getting the space to finish this one off. We'll see who takes what. Who still needs an axe? Is it Kadara?
It's just Wyvern, right?
Oh,
I mean,
Jibe.
okay, I guess
Jibe,
Jibe still needs it. Don't give anything to supports.
Of course.
Greedy cores.
And there we go. That's the rapier now purchased by Palantimos.
Okay. So he's all in. I mean, just backpack the refresher for the time being. Has to be careful, though. They still do kill him pretty fast if they get on him. Especially if the Chen auras and stuff aren't there.
Absolutely.
This might be one of the longer games in the regional qualifiers, I think.
No, I think without a doubt. I think we've had some sort of scrape past the 60 minutes, but this one's getting quite far into it. The Hex on Supreme
Big
straight away.
damage.
Ari's going to be there with the backup. Jumps in with the combo. Stoikov's ready to zip straight over towards the backlines. He's found Kadara. Gets on top of the Wyvern. Palantimos trying to run, but Supreme pushes into the high ground. Is able to take him down. Buyback comes out from Palantimos. Dispose. Catches Supreme. So he jump forward with the Fallen Sky. Stoikov. He's looking towards the morph, but Supreme's out of full HP. Back up to full HP. The curse is off in time, but Kadara does die. He's trapped the two of them. Stoikov won't have much mana to play with coming out at the end of this curse. BKB is back up, though. BNC turns with the Hex on towards
Palantimos.
Ari. Drag him in as well. The Vortex back up towards the mid. They kill the Morphling off once, but it's Palantimos out for good. Dead for 2 minutes. This looking to be the game unless the three of them could do something insane. But there's 2 Rapiers, one on the Morph, one on the Weaver. As Into the Breach should have the tools to close this one up. The tier 4s are gone. Ancient exposed. Stoikov will give it one final attempt, but the BKBs are popped. Into the Breach, they'll look to shut this one down.
Wow. Still, what a showing. Honestly, going to this far of a game, I really expected this Luna to have a lot more struggles, especially after like the 30, 40-minute mark or something like that. But either way, some excellent team fights, great persistence, playing around their Chen. Stoikov with some very ballsy jumps in, paying off massively. But they do end up losing as the game does proceed. Supreme, we do see why they decided to go for this option of the more...